All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to go ahead and get started here today with our presentation on Google Drawing. Just a couple quick announcements, as always. If you leave your name in the chat box below, just to let us know that you're here, we'll be sure to get you accounted for in our attendance. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe so that way all the updates that pop up will automatically be notified to your phone. And just a couple quick announcements, like I said before, just to kind of reiterate what we have going on throughout the course of the week here. Is first up, we have on Wednesday, we have the top 10 G Suite tips for elementary teachers. So if you know any elementary teachers out there, please have them stop in and visit. On Thursday, we have our school-friendly updates for Google Meet. So there's been some updates within Google Meet, including some Google Classroom integration and things like that. So be sure to tune in for that piece. And then on Friday, we will be talking about Google Sites as an alternative for parent and student communication. So be sure to check those out as well. So with that, we are going to get started with our presentation. I'm just going to switch over quickly and we're going to have Valerie Ray presenting on Google Drawing.
Hi, my name is Valerie Ray, and I'm on the Model Schools team at the RIC. As a Google certified trainer, I want to take a few minutes to actually go through my name is Valerie Ray, and I'm on the Model Schools team at the RIC. As a Google certified trainer, I want to take a few minutes to actually go through and show you how you can use Google Drawings and create some interactive learning activities for your students. Let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, if you want to follow along with some of the instructions that I'm going to provide, I would do a split screen in Chrome. So you have me on one side and you have your work area on the other. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your Google Drive, drive.google.com, or if you're already signed in, use your waffle to get to Drive. And the reason I have you start in Drive is because in order to access Google Drawings, you cannot access them you can't access it from the waffle because there isn't an app listed in the waffle. You have to go to the menu. So we're going to go over here to new. We're going to start a new project. We're going to click on new. And if you come all the way down to where it says more, you'll get a flyout menu. Notice on that flyout menu, the second option is Google Drawings. So go ahead, click on new, go down to more, click on Google Drawings, and that will open up your Google area, your Google Drawing area where we can actually start creating. We're going to play with some of the tools first because what I want you to do is I want you to get familiar with the menu and some of the things that you can also do in drawing. So we're going to start there. If you notice as you first open up a Google Drawing, there's the title area up here. This is where you're going to actually type in your title. I'm just going to list it as example Google Drawing. All right, click off of it. This is your canvas area down here. So on your canvas area, if you notice down here in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little place where you can actually click and drag and resize your canvas. I want to actually show you how we can create a, oop, that's a little bit too large. Got to move myself over here. I want to show you how we can actually create a banner looking kind of thing. If any of you use Google Classroom, you can actually create your own banner for your classroom. And I'm going to show you how that's going to work. Okay, we'll utilize some of the tools that are in the menu as well. All right, so I've resized my canvas. And as I'm looking at this, it's, we come up to the menu and you're going to notice that you have File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Arrange, Tools, Help. That probably shouldn't look all that different for you. The other thing over here too is that you have a comment area so that if you do have students who are actually collaborating, this is also, the chat area, of course, or the comment area. This can be turned on and off through your Google admin. You have your share button. Right now I've got it private to me, but if I go ahead and I say, you know what, I really want to make sure that everybody has access to this. So I always go down to that advanced link down here at the bottom when I click on my share button. If I go ahead and I click change, I want to make sure that anybody with a link can view it. Okay, so we are actually going to start creating. Like I said, I want to show you how the tools work and how the canvas works. So what we're going to do, I am actually going to import or bring in an image because I want to work with an image first. So if I go to the image menu and I click on image, I have the option to either upload from the computer, search from the web, or if I have something already in my drive or my photos, I could actually find something there. But if I want to search for the web, I could actually go over here. There is, I gotta move my picture. There is a task pane that pops up, and we're just gonna actually look for images. I'm gonna put mountain images. I want them to be photos. I don't really want them to be clip art. Um, okay, so I kind of like this one. I think all I'm gonna do is select it. I can click insert, or I could just click and drag it over to my canvas. So right now it's creating the image. I'm going to move myself back over here. And this is what my image looks like. Okay. So remember I said that we were going to be using this as a banner or just an introduction banner for my Google Classroom actually, because we can upload our own photo. So we're going to create this. We're going to save it as a photo, and then we're going to upload it to Google Classroom if we need to do that. All right, so I have my banner. This looks really good. I think what I want to do is I want to be able to add a picture of myself and my information. So to add my information first, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to actually click on a text box. So I am actually going to draw my text box in right here. I'm also going to adjust my font and my font size. I'm going to say, let's say 11. And I think because it is a dark background, I want to use white font. So right here, I am typing my name, Valerie Ray, Morick Model Schools. And I think I might have to bring this up just a little bit because I want to add in my email address, vray@morick.org. Okay, so now I have this here. I could actually put a border around this if I really wanted to, but I think I kind of like the way that that looks. It needs to go down just a little bit, and I'm going to reposition. So you can resize these text boxes, and you can just kind of eyeball it and make sure that it's laying the way that you want it to lay. The other thing I'm going to do is I want to actually bring in an image. And I know that I have an image of myself in my drive. So I am going to click on Google Drive. And notice on my taskbar right here, I can look at something recent, something that's in my drive, something that's in my shared drive. I can actually scroll through this menu to see if I can find the images that I'm looking for. Or I could use my search tool right here. And I might put Valerie just to see what pops up. Hit enter. Now, the only thing that's going to say Valerie really is going to be whatever images I've named myself. This is an older picture, don't laugh, but we're going to use this one. Okay, so if I double click it, ooh, it comes in pretty big. I am actually going to resize it and move it. Actually, I'm going to do something else first. I'm going to resize it, but I'm going to put it here. And so what I really want to do is I want to be able to crop this image to kind of like fit a specific shape. So how do we do that? All right, let's come up here. We are actually, well, we have to select our image first. That gives us an extended menu up here. So notice over here we have a crop section on our toolbar. So if you notice right next to it is a down arrow. So click on the down arrow and it says, okay, well, let's crop to a shape. I want to crop my image to a circle. So if I select circle, notice what it does here. Okay, it kind of actually it makes my image a circle. The other thing I want to do is I want to actually add a border. So I'm going to add a white border, and I'm also going to make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, let's go 4x. Okay, can't see it here, but when I drag it up here to my banner and I drop it off, there's my image. What I've done is I've taken a picture and I've cropped it to a specific shape. That's a pretty cool feature. I like using that. The other thing that we can do, we can also probably put in, we could put a text box in up here, and we could just say, again, you want to be able to use your font. I'm going to stick with Acme. I like that. I'm also going to probably stay with 14 size, and I'm going to make this white. And I'm going to say, welcome to Google Drawing. Put an S on it. Okay, I might want to make that a little bit larger because I want it to be on one line and I can actually move this around, but I'm not going to put any kind of box around that particular image. I do want to put a border, not a box, a border around my actual banner image. So if I do that, I have to actually select the image itself and then come back up here to the pencil. And on the pencil, if you click, you'll get what color do you want the border. I like to pick colors that are already in my image, so I'll pick a dark green, and then here's your border weight. So I usually, on average, stick with 4x, 4px, 4 point. Actually, you know what? That might be better. Select it again. That might be better as a white border. Let's do it this way. You can't really see it here. Okay, so I can actually change it. If I don't like the white, I want to come back and put in maybe a blue. A blue would be nice. How about that? Okay, so now I put a border around my image. So what's really neat about this is that you can actually save this image. So I'm going to move this down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to File, and if I want to save this image and reuse it somewhere else, maybe on my website, maybe on, a specific document, or like I said, if I want to upload this to my actual banner, if I use this for my banner for Google Classroom, I'm going to want to bring this down here. You know why? Because normally your name of your class will be right across here, and then your class code would be listed down here. So if we're going to do that, then let's go ahead and make sure that we have, whoops, I don't want that. Let's undo. Your undo buttons are over here. I'm just going to make sure that I have this listed here. Okay. And then my title to my actual classroom would be listed here if we used this image to upload to Google Classroom. Okay. So what am I going to do? I want to save this as a JPEG. I'm going to go File, Save, and I want to download this as a JPEG or a PNG. So if I go JPEG, I file, I download it. It's going to save to my computer. I now have access to that particular image. This is a great way to modify images. It's a great way just to create some of the images that you want to use, banners, stickers, just anything that you use consistently, and you want to make sure that you have access to those JPEGs. Okay, so let's do something really interactive. Let's go to the next level. Okay, so again, it takes us back to a blank drawing, and we're actually going to call this Atom Interactive Activity. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to create an area where I can put the directions in. So I want to click on text box, and I'm actually going to draw a text box right here. And of course, I always like to use fonts. So I'm going to use Oxygen this time. I think I'm going to actually make this 11, and I am going to put the directions right here for students. So when they get a copy of this interactive piece, they have the directions right in front of them. So what I want them to do is I want them to make, actually they don't have to make a copy of this drawing because they will already have a copy of this drawing. I want them to drag and drop the atoms to create the molecules in the chart. And then when you have completed this activity, please be sure to put mark as done in Google Classroom. So there's my directions. I actually want to make it a little smaller. Um, I don't think there's really anything else I want to right yet. Okay. I want to actually create the area where they're actually going to be doing the drawings. So what we need to do is we need to actually insert a shape. Let's go here. So the shape is going to actually be a big square. Where's my square? The one that I want to use. Okay, we could use this one. It's fine. So now I'm going to draw my square. All right. I need to leave room over here because there's some things that I'm going to be doing on that side. All right, so when I bring in a shape, the actual fill by default is blue. I actually, you know what? Let's put a gradient in there. So did you see what I did? I clicked on the paint can. It will come in as a solid color, blue right now, but if you click on gradient, it gives you various gradient options, and then you can also create a customized gradient option if you want. I'm just going to stick with a light gray, just like this. And now what I'm going to do is because I want this to be quadrants. So I'm actually going to insert a line. Let's do line over here. I don't want any kind of anything on the end. I just want to do a line. I want to draw my line. Whoops. I want to draw my line. Where are you? I want to draw my line all the way down here. And I think that's just about, and then I also look at the guiding, the little guiding um, options that they give you right here. So now I have my quadrant, but you know what? I think I want to make these lines just a little bit heavier. So remember, we wanted to go line weight. I don't want to, well, okay, we'll do 4. Yeah, that can be whatever weight that you want. I'm just going to put 4. Okay. The other thing too is my square. All right. I probably should make that a 4 point as well. All right, so now, what is this? That's a little extra something I don't need. So I might make this just a little bit bigger. I want to actually make this first one, I'm going to put a text box in here. This is where students are actually going to create a molecule of water. Okay, this is their drawing area. So this is where they're going to create a molecule of water. And we actually will put that kind of like right there. It looks like it's centered. All right, so molecule of water. Now, what you can do is that you can select this, and if you like to use your keyboard shortcuts, you can always go Command or Control C, which is going to copy that text box. And if you go Command or Control V, that actually is going to paste it. So now I have another one over here. Okay, I need to line it up, but I don't want create a molecule of water here. I want to create a molecule of carbon dioxide. We're going to change this one, carbon dioxide. All right, I'm not really quite sure, can't get that on 2 lines, so I'm actually going to do it this way. I'll put it, well, I didn't center that one either. So now I have that one centered. Okay, if I do Control V again, that gives me another text box that I've already have formatted, right? Down here, I actually want to, I got to double click to get inside because I want to change this to create a molecule of hydrogen peroxide. Also probably going to put that on 2 lines. I'll center it. Let's come up here, our alignment button right here. Probably will move this up just a little bit. MOL. ECULE. See, told me I had an error. All right, so the last one actually is going to be the same. Well, I'm going to actually paste the text box. This one is going to be a molecule of ammonia. All right, this one I think I probably could squeeze on 1 line. I think I will, and we'll put it this way. All right, so I'm going to look at that just a little bit, kind of move things around, move them up so students have an area to work, because right below is where they're actually going to build the atom. The thing that we have to do, though, is create shapes for them to start building. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put in a line, and I'm going to put the line across the bottom here. Now I want to make this more like a border, so I'm going to make this a little bit thicker. I'm going to go 12 point. Oh, a little too much. I'm going to go 8 point. All right. Oop. So now this section below, I'm going to put a text box. This text box actually is going to say carbon atoms. All right, so I'm going to stretch that out just a little bit, see if I can get it all on one line. There we go. I'm going to pull it up here. So now what I'm going to do with this area down here, I'm actually going to build carbon atoms. So I'm going to go to shapes. I'm going to go to a circle, and I'm going to create one. Here's my one carbon atom. Okay, the fill by default comes in as blue. What we want to do is we want to actually make it like a dark gray. All right. I also want to put a dark border around it, so I'm going to select black, and I'm going to make that a 4 point. Okay, so there's my carbon atom. I want to make 5 of them, so the easiest way to do that is do your copy paste. So Command copy. Now I want to paste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All I have to do is move them around. These are the carbon atoms that the students will actually click and drag and put them like up here, right? Or put them in here, and that's what they're really going to start building with. All right, I also want to copy this because why, make it as easy as possible. So now I want to create another section down here, which is going to say my hydrogen atoms. So I'm going to copy this one, come down here, copy, paste. Whoop, that's not what I want. I didn't get the right one copied. This one is the one I want copied. And if I come down here, well, I have to drag it down. So I'm going to bring this one down here. And this one is actually going to say, not carbon atoms, this is going to say hydrogen atoms. Whoops, let's get the right word. Hydrogen atoms. All right, we may have to expand this a little bit. There we go. So hydrogen atoms. Now this is the area where we're going to put our hydrogen atoms, and we're going to make them yellow. So all we have to do is copy. Whoops. We want to let's get one of these. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it. Bring it down here. Now, the only thing we're going to do is change, well, the border color is going to stay the same. We're going to change the actual fill color. So let's make it yellow. All right, so now our hydrogen atoms, we need 4, 6, 8. We need 8 of them, actually. So I'm going to copy this one. Now I'm going to click off, and I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so now that means I have 7 of those hydrogen atoms. Okay, we're going to move them around. 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 Okay. There. So now we have hydrogen atoms for the student to be able to click and drag to build those molecules. All right. We also have an area over here where we're actually going to and paste. Whoop, that's not what I want. I want this one. Copy. Click off of it, paste. And I want to drag this one over here. So now what do I want to put over here? We may have to shrink this up just a little bit because I need room. All right, so not carbon atoms, but I want nitrogen atoms up here. Nitrogen atoms. And we probably aren't going to get them all on one line. So now we have nitrogen atoms. So what are we going to do with nitrogen atoms? We actually are going to create orange ones. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to bring it over here. Well, I'll just drag it over here. And I'm going to actually change the color from orange. I'm going to go down to, from yellow, and I'm going to go down to orange. All right, I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. So now I want 3 of these. Okay, so I'm going to select it again, copy, paste, paste. So now I have 3 nitrogen atoms to work with. All right, I also want to paste that again. See how quickly this is coming together? Now we know exactly what it is that we want to do. This area here, Actually, that's a little bit longer than I need. I need to shrink that up because it came off the canvas, unless I make the canvas larger, and I probably could do that. Remember, we could just click and drag that here. That makes the canvas just a little bit larger. All right. But when we do that, we also would have to resize everything and we'd have to pull everything over. So I'm going to go back. For the sake of time, you would have to basically just adjust it, eyeball it, and adjust it. All right. So this area down here, I want to copy this. I want to paste here. It's not the one. Sorry. Copy, paste. There we go. Bring this down. This one now is going to say oxygen atoms. So I want oxygen atoms, and that does fit on one line. So we're going to actually put 6 different oxygen atoms in here. I'm going to use this one to copy, bring it down here, paste. All right, so there's my one, but I need to make the fill a blue. We're going to make this blue. So now I need 6 of these. Copy, paste, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now that they come in just like this, all I got to do is rearrange them. And we are just about done. All right, we have created an interactive, here we go. We have created an interactive area where if students were to build, create a molecule of water, if I could talk, H2O, right? So that's how you would build a nice interactive project for students to do. The only other thing you're going to want to do, we don't even really have to change this to a JPEG. We're going to leave it in our drive because if you wanted to upload it as an assignment, you would just create the assignment and then click on the little link that says add from drive, pull it in from drive, and then make a copy for each student. Now the student has their own interactive piece. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take this activity and we want to put it to Classroom. So this is what it would look like. All right, we're going to leave it right in Drive. We're not going to save it as a JPEG or anything. It's just going to stay in Drive. What we're going to do is we're going to actually you're going to create an assignment. Okay, I already have one started, so I'm going to edit my draft. And what I'm going to do is make sure that I title it, make sure I put my directions in here. I also want to make sure that I assign a topic to it. Probably I'll put it in as atoms. All right. So my topic is over here. Don't forget, if you want to set a due date, however many points, and then pick which classroom you really want to send this to, or multiple classrooms. Totally up to you. You can do it in this area right here. All right, so we have our directions, we have a title, we have our directions. The only thing we have to do is click that add button. And what that does, we're going to make sure that we select Google Drive. And it actually, as default, comes in through recent. And I can select my activity right here. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to click add. It's going to add to this particular assignment. Only thing that we have to remember to do is select this down arrow next to Students Can View File. We're going to actually make a copy for each student. So now each student will get their own copy. It'll automatically put their name to the top of the assignment as well too. So once we have all of those pieces in place, all we have to do is assign. Just like that. There should be a little message if you haven't really adjusted the sharing. Students will see the assignment in their streams immediately. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to take a few seconds. All right, so it'll be in their stream. When you go to stream, you'll see their stream right here. Okay, also it'll be with classwork. It'll be under atoms and classwork. So however you want students to actually access. The only other thing that I want to talk about is I want to show you some various examples of different interactive pieces that people have created. This one, love it. Pictograph example. Actually, 1 dog equals 2 people. And if you think about the elements that went into this, it's a background color. It's a grid view that you probably could pick up through a Google search, a title, and you have 1 image of a dog, right? And you're just going to you're going to copy and paste these images around. And you can make this interactive for students and post it to Classroom as well. The other thing that you can also create, I wonder, these are interactive. I mean, you can do this in Google Drive as well, but I notice I wonder you can create it here and then import it into Google Drive or Google Docs if you want to do it that way. The other one that I really like, I like this one. This actually is interactive as well. So students actually could take an image and they could actually label these images, but they could also put hyperlinks to any parts of. So if you look right down here, this was a document that's hyperlinked to this particular part of the flower, right? And so there's a document right here that's hyperlinked there. You could also hyperlink a YouTube video, right? And you could actually have students do this. So have students go out and they find the information that they want to hyperlink. All they have to do is find an icon, shrink it up, and then hyperlink it with the insert link piece right here. Okay, so email me if you have any questions. There's, like I said, your imagination and the imagination of your students really can come through their creativity and how you want to actually have them portray their learning or display their learning. And you can use Google Drawings to do that. Hi, my name is Valerie Ray, and I'm on the Model Schools team at the RIC. As a Google certified trainer, I want to take a few minutes.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our session today. As always, we're going to hang out for a few minutes afterward in case you guys have any questions that happen to pop up. And once again, apologies for the technical difficulties today. We definitely had some buffering issues. So we're going to post kind of this live version that we just did, as well as kind of the recorded version as well, so you can kind of get a clean version of it as you guys come back, visit the website, and want to look at different things. So with that, we're going to hang out in the chat for a little while, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat for myself, Valerie, or Chris. We'll be happy to take those questions, and we hope to see everybody next time.